Hello everyone, it's Gina here. I'm back with the latest Eureka crystal beads collection. These come out typically the first Thursday of every month, and I'm super excited to see what's inside, especially because I didn't know what this collection would be called this time around. It's called Plot Twist, so of course I'm very intrigued. So let's go ahead and open this one up together and get a peek at what's inside. For those of you who do not know, these are not a subscription package, so you can just pick these up whenever you want from their site as long as they are available. And they make really nice gifts for beaders. As you can see, they come all wrapped up in a tidy package. Let's see what our inspiration photo is. Oh, lovely. This makes me feel very cozy just looking at the picture. We've got a book and the really pretty background there, some woodsy elements, acorns and lavender and leaves. This is right up my alley, you guys. All right, so let's take this out. We can flip this over and you can see everything again, nice and neat, packaged up. And inside we're gonna get such a nice assortment. I already know because it always is. A nice assortment of materials that we can work with and play with that are all gonna go really well together and are so inspiring. Let's see what we got. All right. Set our photo there as we take a look at the contents. Says you're deep in a story and suddenly, bam, the plot flips on its head. A quiet moment explodes into action, a secret unravels, a character you thought you knew does something wild and brilliant. Every word feels alive, every detail suddenly charged with possibility, and the pages seem to turn faster on their own. Nothing is going the way you expected, and it's glorious. So that is our little inspiration blurb on the back of our insert. And of course, once we open that up, we get the full list of everything that's included. You can put in these numbers off to the side in Eureka Crystal Beads search bar on their online shop site, and it'll give you more information. You can also pick up any of these materials separately if you'd like to outside of the collection. But of course, you get a nice discount if you purchase everything together in the collection. Also, just a reminder there, the free shipping on any order over $39.99 if you're in the US. And you can also check out any of their past collections they may still have available. And sometimes they have some bundles as well. And if I have any coupon codes or anything like that, I will list them right down below the video in the description section. And I'll also list the link specifically for this collection, so it'll bring you right to it. But of course, we've got everything categorized, starting with seed beads, our Czech glass. We're going to have some multi-hole beads in addition to some single hole. There's also some Krakowski Preciosa Chinese crystal and some coordinating findings. So lots to dig into, it looks like. Set that up there so I can read this while we go through it. And here's our package. So it looks like we've got a lot of neutral tones, and it reminds me of their Harmony collection, except maybe a darker take on that, which I love for the fall especially. So many goodies. I'm going to separate some things out here. We're going to be looking at this in real time together. So let me separate out the seed beads. That's about it. All right. And this should give us a good visual of our palette, which again looks to be very neutral. And actually that's a great thing because these collections you can put together with other collections they've already released in the past. So for example, some of them are really colorful, and it's nice to have something that's more neutral to balance that palette out and also combine with your stash items Lots of possibilities. But let's see, on the list, we've got some Miyuki rounds in 11-0 and 15-0. I think that would be these in the tubes. So I'll bring you a closer look at those. I'm a big fan of those 11-0s. These are, yeah, the Perma Finish matte galvanized aluminum. Gorgeous, and the 11-0. And we've got, so I picked up the Tohos first, of course. That's okay. So selection 1, though, is our Miyuki 11-0 10-gram tube. And these look to be in that Picasso variety. They call it, I've seen it called canary yellow, but it's actually beige and caramel and brown. Really beautiful speckling on the outside of those seed beads. So next up, all right, so here's that Miyuki round 15-0 selection. These look to be in a very dark matte bronze. Awesome. Those balance really well with some of those lighter neutrals and will fit together, making for some bezels that will be complete with everything we have in here, of course. Our next selection is a tube of the 3mm length Miyuki bugle beads. Higher quality bugles, and I'll take some of these out. They look like they have a little bit of an iris finish. There's some very subtle pops of purple metallic, but overall they are a very dark bronze. All right, next up we have, yes, our Delicas. We have this lovely mix. It's a 10-gram bag, and you can see we've got some of that lighter beige color. There's a little bit of a translucent caramel brown and a deeper frosty dark taupe brown, it looks like. So at least 3 different colors in this mix, which is awesome. And then for our final seed bead selection, we have some larger size 8 Toho round seed beads, also in the galvanized aluminum matte perma finish. These are great quality seed beads, super uniform. And again, we've got a wonderful selection of not only colors, but sizes to put together. So as we're wanting to most likely bezel some crystals or stones, things like that in particular, you're going to have a wonderful selection to work with in order to do that. So I think we're off to a wonderful start. Let's take a look at our next section. That is the Czech glass. Just give me one moment to get myself together. We're going to look at some fire polish and some pinch beads. All right. So it looks like our first 2 selections are bagged up here. Oh, those are just gorgeous. I'm loving these tones. I'm really ready for fall, but I don't want to rush it. So we've got some 3 and 4mm faceted rounds. Those are so beautiful together. This 3mm strand has a hint of green outside that translucent glass, which is gorgeous. And then inside it has the most beautiful lined center. Actually, both of them have looks to be a golden lining or something similar to that, which is just beautiful, especially with the translucent faceted round glass going all around that. It just adds such an extra beautiful detail. So each of these strands has 50 beads on them. And then next we're going to take a look at some pinch beads. Here we go. We've got a whole bag here. It contains 3 grams. These are the 5 by 3 millimeter size. And these are a really interesting bead. They've got 3 sides to them. And they fit actually pretty well together for some beaded beads. I have a couple of tutorials on my channel going way back using some pinch beads. If you look for the pinch bead rope necklace, you can use these and some seed beads to make some really cool designs and even some earrings. So these are in a deep, dark, chocolatey metallic bronze. And then next we've got some dagger beads. Gorgeous. These are very autumnal and leafy. Let me take these out. I love how this is adding a little bit more of a coppery element. We've seen a lot of golds and browns, some light beige, but these definitely have a beautiful sort of matte copper appearance, at least on most of the bead, and then there's some of these darker areas that kind of come through on the sides. So these are the 11 by 3 millimeter dagger beads, and we have a pack of 20 included in the collection. I'm going to take those pinch beads out too. I think it's just nice for you guys to be able to see those. But yeah, here's the pinch beads, so you can see the 3 sides, that one hole Czech glass shape, and they just kind of sit together in a really interesting way. And then the last 2 items we have in the Czech glass section, they are tubed up. Got some mini duos and some super duos. Let's check them out. All right. Beautiful. So here are our mini duos. These are in the opaque white Picasso. So similar to those seed beads, yeah, the 11O seed beads we took a look at the beginning. They've got that really similar finish. So it's like on top of an opaque white bead, you have that glazed effect with the speckling. They all look a little bit different, kind of stone-like with that caramel color and the darker brown. And then we have the regular size super duos in a tube. These appear to be in a matte bronze. Let's see, they're called opaque olive copper Picasso. And I'll take some of these out so we can check those out up close. There we go. So I like the fact that we have a mini size and the regular size in these Super Duo 2-hole Czech glass beads. It looks like these are our only multi-hole Czech glass beads this month, but we've got the great contrast with the lighter tones in the mini duos and that really deep, rich color in the regular Super Duos, which I know is going to look so beautiful together. All right, so that does it for our Czech glass section. Next, we're going to get into our Krakowski crystal section. That is Eureka's, one of their house brands of crystal stones and pearls. Looks like we're going to first check out some 8mm chatons. All right. So just wanted to show you how nice and neat these are all bagged up, each of them in a separate bag, keeping them protected. And give me just a moment. I'm going to take these out so we can look at them up close. All right, so we actually have 4 of each of these gorgeous colors. They're kind of muted and subtle, but very sparkly. The first one here is kind of in that gray taupe shadow tone right there, which is just going to blend beautifully with pretty much everything. And then we've got one that's got this hint of purple. It's a dusty, grayish, deeper purple, kind of like a tanzanite, they sometimes call these. Oh my goodness, those are so stunning. And these are all the ones, it looks like, with that pointed back. And again, they're the 8mm size stones. All right, so next up, we've got some more beautiful stones to take a look at, some larger ones. Looks like a 12 and a 16. Yeah, first let's check out these that are bagged up. We're gonna see some 12mm crystal Rivoli stones. And it looks like we've got 2 of those included. There's one of those we can check out up close. It's got a hint of that burnt orange tone, kind of a golden orange, very fiery looking, especially under the light, really reflects beautifully. You got all those faceted surfaces. There's a look at the back, it's in great shape. And the side. And Eureka has so many of these different crystal stones and things on their site in all different colors, but these collections are such a wonderful way to sample different pieces, and I just love that hint of orange. It really looks nice too, I think, with those copper daggers in particular. So of course there's our second one there. It's identical to the one we just took a look at. So we've got a pair if you want to use those in some earrings. And I just know there's going to be lots of tutorials to come. I hope to have something myself as well. I can't wait. So next up, we have our largest stones, it looks like. These are a pair of 16mm Krakowski crystal Rivolis. And these appear to match beautifully the 8mm Chaton stones. Again, that kind of medium taupe color with a little bit of a light golden flash, gorgeous sparkle. I think sometimes they call this shadow, kind of a smoky tone. And the second one we have is identical to this first one. So again, have a pair of these if you want to make some earrings. And of course, putting these stones together in a project would be gorgeous. Everything coordinates really well, so that's something you don't have to worry about managing with these collections, is picking out your colors and all of that, because all of that has been done for us. All right, so they also have some gorgeous pearls, just beautiful crystal pearls. First, we have a strand of 100. And these are the 4mm size. They're mainly a gold, but there is this hint of green that is stunning. Do you see that? How it's just got this greenish cast. And I love that suggestion, like you could pull in some other deeper greens from your stash or maybe another collection, and this would be a great go-between sort of color for that. So this strand has 100 pieces on it, and they are wonderful quality. The coating's in great shape. I love the Krakowski pearls. And to follow that up, we have a bag of the 6mm pearls in a different color selection. These also have such a nice, smooth, shell-like coating on the outside, and that beautiful crystal weight to them. They're not chipped or scratched. Very beautiful quality, and these are more of a medium taupe, very neutral color that could easily pull cooler or warmer depending on what you put them with. And if I didn't say it already, there's 65 pieces included on this strand. All right, we've got a couple more crystal selections. First up, some Preciosa Bicones in the 4mm size. It says there are 40 included in our bag. It's not a mix this time around. We've got 40 of this particular color, which does look to have like some type of an extra, maybe AB or luster kind of coating to it that gives it just a bit of an extra reflective shine on these already sparkly crystal bicones, which are masterfully cut. And it's a gorgeous selection. This color, kind of a medium brown, kind of middle of the road, picks up a lot of different neutral shades. And for our last selection of beads, we have a strand of the 3x2mm crystal rondelles. These are the Chinese crystals, so we get a whole strand of these. Typically there's about 100 pieces. And these are in a lovely deep coffee brown with all of those little facets sparkling. Great alternative to an 8/0 seed bead in some applications, or a 3mm pearl sometimes, depending on how you want to use them. They can add a beautiful touch of sparkle, and a little bit goes a long way. So that wraps up our beads for this beautiful plot twist selection. And it looks like we still have a findings section to take a look at. Let's see what we have. So first up, we have an 8mm magnetic disc clasp. I love a good, strong magnetic clasp. They're so easy to put on. And these have, I'm not even gonna try because my nails are really short right now, but they have that surface area, as you can see, this 8mm large flat surface area that is all magnet. So it's going to stick together really well. It feels very strong. And we have this in a lovely metallic bronze or antique golden color that is beautiful. Next up, we have a bag of 20 of the 4mm 20 gauge jump rings. I won't take these out of the bag. Great staple item. You can always use more jump rings, and these of course coordinate with the findings that they have included, which is super handy. Also included are some earring findings in the coordinating bronze metallic. We have, looks like 2 pair included. These are a 25mm size, and they have the 2mm ball detail down there at the bottom. They're fishhook style, and again coordinate. Beautiful. Also included are some of these slide end tubes. These are a 20 millimeter length, and you can use these to end, for example, your seed bead loom work. You can slide them right in there and then shut that little trap door. And they're also great for flat, like peyote stitch bracelets with Delica beads or seed beads. Just to give you an example, those are wonderful. You can also do some multi-strand pieces in there and just slide those in. So there's all sorts of different things you can do. It's just typically you see these with loom work and peyote stitch. Beautiful, coordinating, very simple antique brass. And last but not least, we have a Tibetan style bookmark, 79.5 millimeter length. How adorable and perfect for the plot twist collection for them to have included a bookmark to bead. You can add some little beads hanging from the end. And I like this size. A lot of times I've seen these bookmarks in the larger size, but this is a nice compact bookmark. It's got some little raised details and elements and looks to be the same on both sides. Oh, that's so adorable. And you can make some really cute gifts that you personalize with these bookmark findings as well. I love that. So that wraps it up, everybody, for the plot twist collection at Eureka Crystal Beads. I think they did a wonderful job as usual. I'm really excited to be back and sharing this one with everybody, and I can't wait to dig in. There's just so many things here you could put together that coordinate, and the neutrals, of course, go really well with so many different items. So lots of high quality things here, lots of different things, seed beads, and of course Czech glass crystals, all sorts of things you can bezel if you want to embroider, if you want to do anything your heart desires when it comes to beadwork. You can find something in these collections. So I highly recommend them. And as usual, you can check out their website. I will link to this collection directly right down below, so be sure to check that out. Once they sell out, they typically sell out. So if you want one, you should probably get your hands on one as soon as you can. And other than that, just thank you so much for being here. I'd love to hear what you think about this collection or anything else you'd like to say. Maybe you have some ideas of your own you'd like to share about what you might do with some of these same materials. So feel free to share that down below and give the video a big thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Don't forget to subscribe, and I can't wait to be back soon with hopefully some projects that coordinate and use some of these lovely beads. So hope to see you again real soon. Take care, you guys, and until next time, happy beading.